What's up, guys? Skip Africanus here, and today we'll be doing something a little different rather than the typical Thursday gun video. We're actually going to do a short little review on this real cool mod I found for Call of Duty World at War. So aptly named, Spain at War, given it's about one of the coolest conflicts, the Spanish Civil War. This is always a conflict that I'd personally want to see a game on, given the various different unique factions that would fight in it, as well as, of course, the fact that there were various different firearms in circulation during the conflict. I mean, countries like Germany, Italy, and the Soviet Union quite literally used this war as the testing grounds for various military equipment, guns, and tactics that would later find use in World War II. So now, this mod is free, and there is both multiplayer and single player, which you'll have to download separately. Now, I've only gotten the campaign so far, as it was my primary interest, to be honest. Multiplayer sounded pretty neat, but I didn't really care too much, really wanted to try campaign. So with that being said, I'm not certain just how good the multiplayer is, and even if you can, like, you know, get lobbies with players in it in the first place. However, with that, I do know that they have a way to add bots to it, so honestly, it actually might be a pretty fun game to play every now and then, you know, even though you can only fight bots. There might actually be players on. I just haven't gotten around to playing the multiplayer yet. As mentioned, I was more interested in the campaign, so that's actually the one that we will be going more into detail. Now, in the game, there is both a nationalist and Republican campaign, which is pretty cool. You get to play as both sides, and there exists quite a few missions, actually. Pretty much, if I'm remembering right, as many as the original, like, World at War. Granted, the missions do feel like just a little bit shorter, but it does seem like you definitely feel like you're getting a full campaign, and especially considering this is free, I mean, definitely worth it. And I will say, at the time of recording this, I've only beaten the Nationalist campaign so far. I'm pretty sure I am about to be done on the Republican one. I've gotten pretty far in there, I just haven't checked the missions list. But I will say, gameplay-wise, this game is absolutely amazing. So far, I think the Republican campaign probably is actually my favorite gameplay-wise. I don't know, I feel like that one just got a little bit cooler missions. The Nationals campaign, though, like I said, that one definitely wasn't disappointing. Yeah, I would highly recommend, if you have World at War for the PC, to definitely try this mod out. Hell, if you don't have World at War, I'll say I had to buy World at War myself because the only copy I had was for my Xbox 360. So 20 bucks for World at War, and then, as mentioned, the mod's free. I most certainly have not been disappointed with it. I mean, the mod is pretty well put together. Like, it doesn't go full one-to-one with the original World at War campaign, of course, but there's definitely a lot of effort put into this, and it plays really nice. There is actually some things it does better than the original World at War. I was joking with my brother, actually, that the bolt actions in particular run better than the originals. I don't know if you guys remember, but in the original one, for whatever reason, your guy, like, never racked the bolt all the way back on, like, pretty much most of them. Now, he'll kind of do that with, like, the Mosin and the Arasaka gun here, because they pretty much just would import the same gun, but they would also add the, like, just change them up a little bit. Like, they actually made the Mosin bolt have the straight bolt handle, and then the Arasaka, they had, like, a dust cover and all that to it. Well, they made it the full-on Type 38 Arasaka instead of the 99, and also gave it a straight bolt handle because they made the bolt handle curve in the, we're going too much into these bolt actions, but one thing in particular with the bolt actions that, aside from being cool, I feel actually it just makes the game have a unique play style, is there's no semi-automatics in this DLC, or not DLC, mod. It is bolt actions, subguns, or machine guns, which presents a pretty interesting play style, mainly if you do like the hardened or veteran gameplay. Because I don't know about you guys, but in the original World at War, I did do a veteran playthrough, and the semi-automatics pretty much were king when you would play that. It was semi-automatics and then, of course, subguns for close quarters. Not having those semi-automatics, though, and having to use the bolt action for range, it definitely adds a really interesting playstyle to it. And especially, I'll add, when you start doing close quarters combat in buildings, which you're not seeing on screen right now, but when you start doing close quarters combat in buildings and you just have your, you know, bolt action with bayonet, it definitely provides some neat gameplay. Which, by the way, for reference, currently I'm playing it on regular, on what you see on the screen right now. I only just, when I started the Republican campaign, that's where I tried playing it on hardened, and yeah, I definitely did notice, as mentioned, that different type of gameplay. Anyways, continuing on with the gameplay, and also talking about the firearms, you know, the one thing I mentioned was the cool thing about the Spanish Civil War was the sheer number of guns in circulation. I mean, practically, if the gun was around at the time, it would find use in the Spanish Civil War. And in this game, there is a massive number of just various firearms, and just different firearms too. Like, you get like the Type 38 Arasaka, you'll get, as you can see on the screen, the Mosin Nagant. You get some Spanish guns too. You get like the Astra 400. You get that one automatic 76. I can never remember the name. It's an Astra pistol, but I can never remember the name of it. Just a whole plethora of neat, cool guns on here, and they're all animated beautifully. The only gripe that I will give this DLC is, unless you're using a bolt action, ammunition is incredibly scarce. You'll probably see me on screen, like, when it comes with using any type of automatic, I'm routinely just, you know, picking up different guns, swapping it out for another submachine I find on the ground. It seems like, you know, you pick them up, they barely have a mag in them, and guys are running around with different types of submachine guns and all that, so you can never get the ammo for it. Just one little gripe I do have with it is, it seems like if you're not using a bolt action, you're going to have a problem finding ammo. Maybe this is something that's going to get fixed. The campaign dropped fairly recently, if I remember right. Honestly, though, if it doesn't get fixed, I will say, like I mentioned earlier, it is pretty fun to run around close quarters with a bolt action with a bayonet. It gets a little bit annoying when you're playing like Hardened, and I especially imagine Veteran, but it is kind of fun. Now, one thing I will add is the entire mod is basically in Spanish until you fight some Italians, then they'll speak Italian, obviously. But the entire mod's in Spanish, so you will like have to flip on subtitles. You're not seeing any subtitles on screen, like that doesn't appear like when you're in combat, but like when it's like actual dialogue from like a character or whatever, because this game kind of does have a little bit of an in-depth can't think right now, a little bit of an in-depth storyline. So when you're actually talking like in cutscenes and all that, like it'll be in English subtitles. But yeah, just keep in mind that this game is pretty much all in Spanish with English subtitles, which I myself find kind of cool. It's a Spanish Civil War, so hearing everyone speak Spanish, except for, as mentioned, the Italian troops, is just something neat to add to the immersion. So anyways, yeah, that's just a basic little rundown of this really cool mod. Like I mentioned, we don't normally post solely video game specific stuff. Usually we'll be going over the gun in a game or whatever, but I figured a lot of you guys probably play video games, and a lot of you guys probably liked World at War's campaign. I definitely imagine that a lot of you guys would like this mod. Like I said, I had to buy World at War for 20 bucks for the PC. It was worth every penny, so if you're interested in this, I would highly recommend getting it. If you're not sold on it yet, though, I will actually be getting, like, I'm just gonna post a full-on playthrough of the game. I'll do both the Nationalist and the Republican campaigns, and then I'll just post them as I have the video ready. Like, well, I'll post like a video a day of it, but as they're ready, I'll post them. It won't interfere with our normal schedule, like Cartridge of the Week on Tuesday, and then standard gun video, you know, all that, the typical schedule we run off of. I'll kind of just post them as they're made, but anyways, yeah, I think that is going to do it for this short little review of Spain at War, the Call of Duty World at War mod. That is very fun. Hope you all enjoyed the video as much as I personally enjoyed making it, and if you download this mod, I also hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoyed playing it. I will see y'all next time.